everybody and welcome back to my channel. Lots to talk about. We got this is the preview for the game week, and I'll touch a little bit about what there's something at the end if you wait to listen and find out. But anyway, how are y'all? How's your year going? Let me know down in the comments. Yeah. Okay. We have today. We have this is a really interesting game actually. Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth literally trashed Newcastle at their place. One of the hardest grounds to go to. Bournemouth went there and beat Newcastle very convincingly. So I don't know. Nottingham Forest also are on amazing form, but Southampton almost made a comeback on them. So I don't know. That's a really interesting game that I'll be keeping my eye on. Liverpool Ipswich. To me, it's an easy Liverpool win. Honestly speaking, I think it will be an easy Liverpool win for me. Southampton, no, yeah, Southampton, Newcastle. Newcastle haven't been in the best of forms. As you know, Bournemouth went there and trashed them. But yeah, it's Southampton. Everyone beats Southampton. But then they have this really distinct style of play in which if they had the right players who will play that system, who can play that system, they'd really be playing well. But then they do not. They keep trying to insist on playing on the back, playing out from the back, which they get caught out a lot. But I can commend the manager for sticking to his principles, but then he has to do something. But then they're only on 6 points right now, and the worst record for relegation of a Premier League team was Derby with 11 points, and now they're on 6 points. So I don't know if they will beat the 11 points record, but then they are already relegated. So you know what's the worst that can happen? We're already being relegated. So I think the manager is just like sticking to his guns. Yeah, like every other game from now on is a friendly. We're already relegated, so what else do we have to lose? So you know, a person who doesn't have anything to lose does a lot to prove himself, if you understand the saying. But so Southampton don't have anything to lose. They're already relegated. Even if they win all their games from now to the end of the season, they can't be promoted. Okay, but if they win every other game till the end of the season, yes, they will be promoted. But then they still have to go to Man City, still have to go to Arsenal, still have to go to Liverpool. And this is football, anything can happen. But on 6 points, I don't think they can make it out of the relegation. Yeah, game of the weekend for some people, City Chelsea. For me, game of the weekend will be Bournemouth Nottingham Forest. And in Kenya, and I tell you all every time, in Kenya we have this thing called Ogopa Ali Kickoff, Fear Ali Kickoff. Bournemouth Nottingham Forest. Sorry, I haven't given you all my predictions yet. I think Bournemouth Nottingham Forest will be a draw, a really high scoring draw, say like a 3-3. Liverpool will beat Ipswich, say 2-1. Newcastle will beat Southampton 3-0. City Chelsea. Now this is because it will be easy to just go Chelsea because City are on terrible form. Mind you, City are not in the top 24 of the Champions League, in the Champions League thingy. So they may be eliminated from the Champions League if, I don't know, I think if they beat Club Brugge, they just sneak into the playoff positions. But then I'm not so sure. I'll have to do my research on that. But City are in crisis, like a lot of crisis. And I think Chelsea will beat them. I think Cole Palmer will be having a lot on his mind, a lot to prove. And Cole Palmer gives this cool vibe, just I want to play football vibe. But I think those are the worst people to be around, because if those people have a vendetta against you, if they dedicate themselves to getting revenge on you, or like proving a point against you, they do everything. And with the skill that Cole Palmer has, I think City are in for a really, really, really big fight. Full squad, minimal injuries. Chaloba is back, doing a madness at the back. I think Chelsea will beat City. Not as convincingly, but I think Chelsea will beat City. Say 2-0 or 2-1. Yeah, or 3-2. I think it will also be a high scoring game. Wolves Arsenal. Honestly speaking, without Saka, this is the kind of game that Arsenal will draw. They drew against what was their last game? I don't really remember, but I think they drew 2-2 with Bright. But no, it wasn't Brighton. What was Aston? I think it was Aston Villa. Or did Aston Villa? I think they drew with Aston Villa. This is the kind of game Arsenal will draw. But I think Arsenal will just sneak a win from a corner, Gabriel, and then they defend quite well, because Wolves with Matthias Cunha uncertainty, he says he wants to go to Arsenal. I don't know if Arsenal can pull off getting Matthias Cunha, who is a really brilliant player. If Arsenal get Matthias Cunha, perfect. He can play multiple positions. So I think Arsenal will beat Wolves. Say 1-0, maybe 2-0, but I think Arsenal will beat Wolves. Fulham, Man United. Man United have been in terrible form in the Premier League. Just won over in the Europa League up to the top 8 spots. So I really hope we don't really hope we don't play another game, because those will be so many games. I'm so scared of getting injuries, because we are terrible as it is. What if we get injuries? Johnny Evans is already out. Mason Mount forever out. I don't really even remember the last time Luke Shaw played for Man United. But I'll predict this game with my heart, because Fulham are playing brilliant. Man United are not in form right now. And I think Amorim is going the Mourinho route, like put all your eggs in the Europa League basket. I think that is what Amorim is doing. Because right now, even if we win, which is quite impossible, because you can't base your results only on yourself. Because if you win your games and the teams above you win their games as well, you just stay stagnant at where you are. You get it? So like, I think Amorim is putting, and the team and the club is putting all their eggs in the Europa League basket and FA Cup basket. And that's why I told you all that I think Man United will win the FA Cup and the Europa League, because it's all we have. Personally, I don't care if we finish 19th. I don't care. Okay, 19th will be relegated, but I don't really care if we finish 17th, as long as we win the Europa League and the FA Cup. I think, and also I think that's because in the Premier League, I think Amorim is like, okay, let me try these new things in the Premier League, then apply whatever works in the Europa League and the FA Cup. That if we win those two, or even if we win one of them, we are in either the Europa League or the Champions League. So I think that's what I think that's it. Yeah. Tottenham, Leicester. Tottenham, another team in terrible form, and Leicester need a couple of points if they want to stay up. So Jamie Vardy hasn't been firing of late. Ruud van Nistelrooy needs a win. Tottenham has like 11 injuries. I'll go with a draw on this game. I'll go with a low scoring, say 1-1 draw. And this is another really exciting game, because both teams are in brilliant form. Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Palace are at home, but Brentford, I think I saw a stat where I think Brentford has the best away form in the league right now. Because, and Brentford are away, so I think Brentford will. I'm not so sure. Okay, Wisa and Moemo are firing. They have a fully fit squad. I'm gonna go with Brentford. I'm gonna go with the Brentford win. Yeah, say 2-0 win over Palace. On to the KPL. In the KPL, I'd call it bias, but all these other teams I only watch their highlights, but I love AC Leopards, and I think it's a sleeping giant. And FC Leopards has been my team for the longest time, and it really puzzles me where, let me just tell you our recent games. Talanta beat us 4-2. Then we played with KCB, who are Talanta are like 17th, 18th. KCB are top 4, and we beat them 4-2. Right? This game we face Muranga Seals, FC Leopards against Muranga Seals. So it's really hard to say it's really hard to predict this game because we beat KCB, but we got beat by Atalanta. So if I go with my head, I think if I predict using my head and not my heart, I would say Muranga Seals will beat FC Leopards. But if I predict it with my heart, FC Leopards will beat Muranga Seals. So what do I go for? It's really puzzling because our form this season has been up and down, up and down, up and down. But then we have been in crisis for quite a while now. But I think AFC will sneak a win against Muranga Seals. Yeah, like 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1. And after predicting all those, it's just a conspiracy theory. Y'all let me know what you think about it. I just wanted to talk about the Champions League just a little bit. The La Liga and the Spanish Cups don't generate as much money as the Premier League. The Premier League is the best league in the world by far because the FA tries as much as possible to distribute the revenue equal across all teams, right? La Liga messed that up because revenue is supplied according to your performance. And yes, the Premier League does the same, majorly because of the TV rights thingy, the 3 o'clock blackout. There's ways that, yes, the team that wins the league gets more money than the team that is relegated. But then when it comes to advertising and like TV rights and everything, the revenue is distributed across the board equally, right? The revenue that let me just put it into context. The amount of money TV wise that City versus Chelsea will get is the same revenue TV wise that a Crystal Palace and Brentford will get. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The FA distributes the revenue equally. That's why there's no team in the Premier League that owns its own TV rights. And La Liga messed that up, and that's why teams at the top, there's like a gap between teams at the top and teams that are at the bottom, which means not so many people will watch the league, and the Premier League is the most watched league because of its unpredictability. But then if you watch a game between Real Madrid and Rayo Vallecano, you almost know Real Madrid will win. So bearing that in mind, the new format of the Champions League has like a Liverpool and Real Madrid facing off in the early stages of the league, right? For clubs and federations, more games equals more money. Okay? Having that equation in mind, Real Madrid generated a lot of money from 7 UEFA Champions League games, right? So we'll say like a team like Liverpool who'll be going to the round of 16 automatically. they'd have played 8 games. So they've got revenue from 8 games. And Real Madrid will get revenue from 8 games as well. But then, Real Madrid finished out of the top 8. Finished between 16th and 24th, right? That's an extra game. An extra game equals more money for the club and the federation. I don't understand what I'm saying. So, and as I said, this is a conspiracy theory. So, would I be wrong in saying Real Madrid purposely put themselves in between 8th and 24th so that they can earn that extra game, which equals extra money, so that they go into the round of 16? Keeping in mind, La Liga doesn't generate as much income as the Premier League. Trying to put the dots together, right? The final of the Carabao version Cup of Spain was held in Saudi, right? And that is to generate more income. That is like a Poundland version of the Super League, where you'll find and La Liga had been thinking about taking matches outside Spain. Like you can have a El Clasico in USA, like these big games like Madrid derby, Atleti versus Real Madrid, take it to Russia, So would I be wrong in saying Real Madrid purposely finished in a playoff position that they earn more revenue from the extra game, giving them more revenue than the teams that finish? Because I've never really understood why Real Madrid in the Champions League during their group stages, they are terrible, but they found a way to finish in the first or second position of their groups, proceed to the round of 16, and after the round of 16 they start playing some brilliant football. So, and there are these ties there's been this conspiracy theory for a while that the owner of Real Madrid has ties to UEFA. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So, would this be like the owner of Real Madrid who proposed this new version of the Champions League? The Champions League said, okay, that means more money coming into our pockets. Who are the people getting hurt? The team, the club is not getting hurt. The players are the ones who are getting hurt. Look at Haaland's new contract. Haaland is always fit, rarely gets injured. Sometimes he won't score a goal or two, but then whatever he does outside, when they are not in possession, without the ball, really contributes to the team. So they've given him a 10-year contract, so I don't know what. Look at it this way, right? Man City play the whole league, play the Champions League, play the FA Cup, play the Carabao Cup. Those are like, plus the few games that have been added into the Champions League, that's like 80 games, right? If they get to the round of 16 and continuing. Then after that, they go off to play a FIFA tournament in June and July for the Club World Cup, in which every team is given 50 million. I think you earn 50 million from the competition, right? Despite winning the whole competition, you get 50 million, right? From the Premier League, we have Chelsea and Man City. From La Liga, we have Real Madrid and Atleti, right? The owners of Real Madrid will be rubbing their hands together knowing there's some extra 50 million coming in the summer, But then the players, I as a Man United fan, I'm glad we are not in the Club World Cup, because that will give my players time to rest, come back in training, clear-headed, fully rested, ready for the next season. I wouldn't be surprised next season if Man City and Chelsea start the season off in a low tone, unless they do like a madness in the transfer window and buy like so many new players who weren't in the Club World Cup. But then all I'm trying to say is there are too many games, and it's diluting the quality of football. Look at how many last year and this year have generated them. There's a stat, and you can Google this if you want. Last year and this year have generated the most muscle injuries in the league ever. And muscle injuries come from fatigue and strain, right? So the club is getting all this money, but then they don't really care about the players. It's getting to a time where, like Chelsea, as I told you, Chelsea is the only team as well equipped for all these games as any other team, because Chelsea have like 900 players. No offense. The rotation players get ample rest. This player is not registered in a certain league, and this player is registered in another league. And every other team is headed to have squads like Chelsea. Like you'll find a Man City have a Haaland, but also have a Victor Gyökeres on the bench. You get it? Have like a Real Madrid have a Bellingham, but also have a Matthias Cunha on the bench. Players will start for teams like Matthias Cunha. If Matthias Cunha comes to Man United, he starts automatically. He starts. I don't know if you all understand what I'm saying. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one, and you all have a lovely day. Goodbye.